Hello, I'm going to talk about the book Journey to the Center of the Earth. This book is a novel of science fiction of Julio Verne, published on November 25, 1864. The main characters are Axel, Otto Lindbergh, Hans, and the antagonists Graven and Martha. In Journey to the Center of the Earth, the main character is John Axel, who lived in an old house located in Königsstraße in Hamburg with his uncle Otto Lindbergh, a famous professor of mineralogy and general journalism, and which, according to him, is a strong but very original person. This companion Graven and his servant Martha. One day his uncle showed him an old manuscript or handbook by Snorri Sturluson, but this book is special because it contains a scroll with a mysterious secret. After much effort and almost by chance, they managed to decipher it is a number Icelandic alchemist Armin Sagnesson indicated how to get to the center of the earth. The euphoric professor decided to go to the place indicated on the parchment with his nephew Axel. Axel is very afraid and does not want to go, but he has no other option, and they go to the place indicated on the parchment, Iceland. After a long journey, you will arrive in Reykjavik, a city near a volcano through which you must enter the reach, the heart of the earth, following the instruction of Sanusman. Hans, a professional hunter, who will follow you throughout your odyssey. They are equipped with full tool, weapon, instrument, electric, flashlight, and first aid kit. Begin to the journey to the volcano. They undertake the assault one of the snails on difficult road. The march is painful, but they finally reach the summit of the volcano. There you will find a pleasant surprise. Sagnussman indicated his presence by inscribing his name on a rock, which showed that his trip was real. At the bottom of the crater, three chimneys open. The next morning, they continue to sink into the bowels of the globe, falling into a steep slope made by dry lava that covers the interior of the crater. After long descent, they reach the bottom of the chimney, where they find two paths. Professor Lidenbrock decides to take the earnest path, and that path turned out to be wrong, because on the third day, they run out of the water and have to return west. The next morning, they continue to descend and get closer and closer to the center of the earth. Axel misses his uncle and Hans and is lost in a tunnel, but the special acoustic of the place allows him to talk to his uncle even, though he was very far from him. Following the instruction of this, he lived. He accidentally falls into a well, but surely his inclination will lead him to where Hans and his uncle are. When he comes back to himself, he sees that they are adjacent to a sea. They are in a cave. They can hold the amount of water in a sea. Nearby is a mushroom forest where they find skeleton of the animals and humans. Hans builds a raft and so begins a journey to reach a new outlet on the opposite bank. The journey at the sea will be longer than the travel. During the crossing, they will fish for extinct fish of the genus and encounter host sea monster and a pleasure, but luckily the animals find each other and are unaware when it comes to the fleet. Axel and his two companions continue the journey with their similar uniform. They pass an islet which is named by Tanzudus, Islote de Axel, where there is a geyser that contains boiling water of They continue on their way and the storm treats them. The wind blows at unpredictable speed. The race do not end. The heat increases suddenly. They see a flame of fiery wonder throughout space at the speed of the hurricane, possible an incandescent jet, which begin navigation with the mast, and the three friends are dragged very quickly onto the raft of the rats, collide with the wreck of the coast. They continue to explore the terrain and move away from the seashore. They arrive at the forest of vegetation in the third era, with palm trees being beneath these trees. The gigant mastodon shake and find what appears to be a human, more than 4 meters tall, and the head of grazing buffalo. It seems impossible to them, and they think that it could be a spectre, but they flee at great speed towards to the sea, where they left the raft. On their way, they find a dagger belonging to Arne. Sagnussen, the alchemist, could make the same journey to the center of the earth. And later on the rock, they find their initials engraved, pointing them back to the rock. According to the Lidenbrock, they still have to continue the journey. They must take a gallery, but a large stone obstructs the stream and does not allow them to penetrate anywhere. They choose to break to the rock with the powers they have. They prepare everything, like the fuse and seek refuge in the store they have on the beach. However, the extreme instability of the land causes the explosion to cause an earthquake and the sea, transforming into a giant wave, violently take them through several galleries. They will soon end up in a vertical gallery, but when the water returns to its natural level and begins to rise at high speed like a superfast elevator, the three explorers are considered lost since, due to the speed of their ascent, they can hardly breathe and the heat becomes. They once move, the vapors condense. These are the symptoms of eruption, and they are inside the chimney of an active volcano. Suddenly, a whirling movement takes over the fleet, swaying over the lava waves, amidst and shower, and they are expelled from the flaming wall. When Axel opened his eye, he checked that they are out there on the surface of the earth, but they are not found in Iceland, but on the island of Strombo, Italy, in the Mediterranean. The height comes from a volcano, and have traveling more leagues from the first. A cone of marbles, a clover with smoke, can be seen to the west. It is Etna. Axel and his uncle returned home. The news of his journey to the center of the earth had spread everywhere, but no one had believed such adventure. However, his presence and various reports from Iceland changed the mind. Professor Lidenbrock and Axel become famous men, and Hans returned to his native Iceland. There is some literary device in this book, foreshadowing, in which a writer gives an advance hint of what is to come leading into the story. In this case, Axel says that he believes that something terrible is about to happen, and not long after he cracked the code and discovered the message regarding to the journey to the center of the earth. The other is metaphor. It's a figure or speech that describes an object or action in a way that isn't literally true, but helps explain an idea or make a comparison. This fossil body was not the only one in this vast plain of bones, the cemetery of extinct world. The other is simile. compare two different things in an interesting way. In this case, my uncle walking about the bottom of the crater like a funeral pall over the summit. The other is personification, the attribution of a personal nature of human characteristic to something not human or the representation of an astral quality in a human form. Our excursion through the wonderful mine in the very bowels of the earth lasted until evening. It referred to the personal nature and how they amazed the wonder of that coal mine. Other simile. Next morning, a gray, cloudy, heavy sky hung like a funeral pall over the summit. In this case, compare the cloudy and dark sky at the time. They were on the raft because they had problem, and with a funeral mantle because it is also a fact that the summit where they were turning dark.